5 years ago, I saw a very interesting video on my YouTube feed titled Attractive Face or Not. It depends on tongue posture. With curiosity, I clicked on that video and it started like this.
Is the structure of your face 100% determined by your genes? Or can you change the bone structure of a person's face without surgery? If this was the work of genes, why would they work hard to make a good looking face until age 10, but slack off after that? The maxilla, the bone of the upper mouth, is connected to the cranium and face by several sutures. And the interesting part is that these sutures are not fused together. New bone can still be made at the sutures, even in adults.
Simply put, the summary of that video is that if you rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth, your face grows forward like this. And if you don't rest your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and if you breathe through your mouth instead of your nose, then your face grows vertically like this. Furthermore, he also explains that having your tongue on the roof of your mouth and having strong chewing muscles can help prevent crooked teeth, narrowing of the palate, and it can also help in getting straighter teeth. After watching that video, I immediately started doing mewing. The before and after transformations that I saw in that video and online made me more and more excited, and I thought one day I would also get these kinds of results. As months passed, I began to notice some changes in my face whenever I looked into the mirror. Day by day, I felt my cheeks were getting hollower, my cheekbones were popping out, and my jaw looked stronger and more defined than ever. At that time, I thought, why not document this transformation and share it online? So I started taking pictures every day. Now it's been 5 years since I started doing mewing and it didn't work. Here are two pictures I took, one almost 2 years ago, another taken lately. Also, take a look at the front profile. What about the bite and teeth? Have you noticed any changes in my jaw and teeth? A lot of people can guess correctly regarding the teeth and bite because the difference is zero. And now, when it comes to these photos, maybe some of you will answer yes. But first, let's remove the background and look more closely. So, nothing has changed. Take a look at these two pictures, which are almost 3 years apart. Now, this time, a lot of people may say yes, but take a closer look. Unfortunately, over a year and a half of pictures that I took every day were lost, but somehow I found out two pictures on another mobile. Those were two front profile pictures that you already saw. But when I was doing time lapse, I used to check at the time whether my jaw is changing or not. Trust me, there is no difference between those pictures. Even before thinking of doing a time lapse, I used to take a picture or two for every 2 to 3 months. There is also no difference. Okay, now come to the topic. Why are we seeing the difference between the pictures even though there is no changes have occurred in my jaw? This is not only happening in my case, it's happening in every mewing transformation that you saw online. Don't you believe me? Okay, let's take a look at some examples. Look at this transformation. Do you think his jaw actually grown? Now let's change the angle of the pictures to match his forehead angle. A lot of people are lifting their chin due to trouble breathing while moving, and they are also unconsciously lifting their chin in the after pictures. Now look at this transformation. Do you think this transformation is true? If you look well in the before picture, the head turned against the camera, and in the after picture, they turn more towards the camera. Even lighting can drastically make you instantly different. Do you know why you may have thought my jaw looked different in these pictures? If you look at this before picture carefully, there are shadows around my jaw that made my jaw look slimmer than it actually is. and some are just due to weight loss or fat loss, and some are due to camera focal length. Okay, now you know that the transformations that you saw online are not true. But why is it happening? It is because of cognitive bias. While we are so focused on and excited about the jaw growth, we are paying less attention to other things. That's why the cognitive bias is happening. Also, now let's think for a few seconds. When I started doing mewing, I only had 28 teeth. What if the 4 extra teeth that appear at the end of the teenage years grow naturally? I mean, wisdom teeth. The possibility of my jaw is changing is also going to increase, right? And now think, what if a person did mewing and his jaw grew? Maybe it was not because of him doing mewing. Maybe it was because of the extra teeth that he grew naturally. And think, what if that person said, it's all because of mewing? Okay, now we know about the teeth, but what about hormones? What about genetics? And what about the things that we don't know? Even increasing or decreasing a few digits of body fat percentage levels or BMI can hugely impact on how you look. Even though mewing wasn't working, a lot of people without knowing are uploading videos and transformations thinking mewing worked, but some are doing it intentionally. Even if mewing works, there are also a lot of problems with mewing. One is looks maxing. Nowadays, some people are promoting extreme, dangerous, and unproven stuff in the name of looks maxing. Instead of saying that you're all good, there is nothing wrong with that. Maybe even if mewing or any other technique works, how far can you go for the sake of looking better than others? Nowadays, some people say that having wider and stronger jaw means you are attractive. If it is true, then why are a lot of Koreans are shaving their jawbones surgically? Some other people say that having a symmetrical face makes you attractive. If that is the case, why are there a lot of celebrities or people who look good even without having a perfectly symmetrical face? Even some argue that beauty is in golden ratio. I think that is also not true. Maybe it was either in the familiarity or maybe it was actually in the eye of the beholder. The second one is evolution. It has been hypothesized that humans have smaller and weaker jaw muscles because of a mutation in a gene called MYH16 that leads to a weaker bite, but it also helped our brains to grow larger. The transition that our ancestors made from eating raw meat, which is harder to chew, to eating soft foods from cooking and agriculture, may also be the reason for that mutation. Because if we don't use our muscles to their capacity, then they become smaller or atrophied. A lot of scientists suggest that genes leads to something, not doing something leads to genes changes or changes in something. Our ancestors evolved over so much time to have such a powerful brain, and we are trying to do the opposite again. It feels funny, right? So, would you trade your intelligence for the sake of looking better? Before I end this video, I want to suggest some things. So, normal mewing doesn't work. So, does that mean you need to stop doing mewing? To be honest, I don't know the answer. But nose breathing is generally considered a lot better than mouth breathing. And also think like this, what if I didn't done mewing? Will my face may gotten even worse? I don't know. I think even if it works, normal mewing results are may hard to notice even if you do it for 10 years. But I think there are two things that may work, but I don't know for sure. One is hard mewing with chin tuck. I think the reason mewing is not working is because we are just placing the tongue on the roof of our mouth and thinking somehow it works. But again, think, how does a palate expander widens the upper jaw? Orthodontists don't think if they just place it in the patient mouth, it somehow works like magic. They gradually turn the key, which leads to a gradual increase in force placed upon the upper jaw over time and thus expands the palate. Now think about normal mewing. We just place our tongue on the roof of our mouth, which means the same amount of force every time. And we are also either unconsciously lifting our jaw and moving our head forward to breathe better. In order to fix those problems, you can do this. Like we normally mew, say the ng sound while making a smile and also teeth together. And try to swallow saliva a few times until you feel a tight feeling of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Now stand next to a wall and do a chin tuck. While doing the chin tuck, try to close the gap between your neck and the wall. Then try to push with your tongue on the roof of your mouth with as much as force your tongue is capable of for 100 seconds. It is okay if you feel the sensation of your tongue burning, and it is also okay not to be able to complete the 100 seconds in one go. Next one is increasing bite force properly. Actually, a lot of people are doing this, but in a wrong way. A lot of people are suggesting that in order to grow your chewing muscles, you need to chew for 1 or 2 hours a day. However, I do not recommend chewing for such an extended period of time because of two reasons. In the past, when I used to chew like that, I got an insane amount of unbearable pain for 2 days in my jaw joints. It happened twice and then I completely quit chewing things. And also at the time, I noticed that a lot of the times when I woke up, I noticed a really big prints of my teeth on the sides of my tongue. The second reason is that chewing for a longer period of time with less force is ineffective in building muscle and also bad for your jaw joints. Bite the chewing thing with as much force as you can for 100 seconds and that's it. Take pictures properly to check if these things are working or not. I am thinking maybe there is also a chance of these things will also not work because what if these things just increase the jawbone density instead of changing jaw position like this? I don't know, but let's see. It is the only last option for us and there is some hope. And lastly again, I am not against to anyone. I also wanted to see Mewing succeed in the future because if it works, then it revolutionizes the way we look at genes. And who doesn't want that? But we also needed to find the truth, not biases. I don't have full 5 years transformation pictures, but if you ask some creators, you will be able to see their full 5 years Mewing transformation pictures. Like when I started doing Mewing, some other influencers also started doing Mewing and posted their before and after pictures. Now I think they are also did Mewing for 5 years and they also have their first day of Mewing transformation pictures. But tell them to analyze carefully and then we will get the correct answer. I think Dr. Mike Mew also need to talk about this with people and better do a study by himself with people who are interested in Mewing and document it at least in a video. Why? Because if no one sees true results from Mewing, then in the future Mewing becomes a more of a meme than a facial reconstructive technique. If you want to see me try these things by myself, then let me know in the comment section. Until then,